The first time I saw this little beast in action was at the ESL1 event in Birmingham. There's a video here in the channel if you want to go and check it out. This was hooked to the racing scene actually tryout, and after seeing the unique design through throwing all the lighting and everything, I did decide to talk to Ace and Predator and get in the studio for some real testing. So straight out of the box, the Orion X is surprisingly compact. For a PC packing such a powerful components, this is only 15.4 liters in an ITX chassis that feel sleek and manageable. And Acer have nailed it with the 3-zone over here. I have built many other ITX in the past, but these 3-zone just make it so easy. So we got Zone 1, motherboard, CPU, and RAM and storage, and everything is upgradable. Zone 2, we got, well, the RTX 4080 graphics card in this configuration, but you can get it with actually the Intel graphics card if you want to. And then Zone 3 is all about the heating at the top. But if we stay on the design for 1 second, it's not just functional with all the 3 zones and very easy to upgrade. It had a futuristic look and some sharp line with some premium standout design. And yet, do not go, well, glass anywhere, like maybe something like this, but it does got perforated sides that honestly it looks super decent. You give that futuristic vibe, kind of spaceship design, and through the mesh you can see some RGB from the cooler, the fans, and on this side you can see the logo of the RTX. And when we're talking about RGB, all this RGB at the front actually complements the whole build. Now, is it portable? Yes, it's portable thanks to, well, the small design, and it's only 15.4 liters, so it's fairly small, but it's not the easiest to, carry. It's still a full gaming computer in here, so it is kind of heavy and it doesn't got any easy way to handle. So it doesn't got handles and straps or nothing like that. Out of the box, it comes with a headphone holder. It looks like a handle. It's not a handle, so don't be confused. I wish I had something like this maybe 10, 12 years ago when I used to go to my friend's house to do like weekends LAN parties, and I actually used to go in competition LAN parties. This would be the ideal thing, set to carry your main computer, your master screen and everything. All this power into this little thing is unique, to be honest. But now, yeah, I mentioned GPU, we got a 4080 on this side, but for CPU, this got a i9 13900KS. That's 24 cores, and it's incredible for gaming and for multitasking. It's capable to handle, well, the most demanding tasks that you can throw to it, throw the rendering, editing, and it got a base clock of 2.4 gigahertz. It's able to boost to a turbo 5.6. So the CPU is extremely built for performance. But we're also talking 32 gigabytes of high-speed DDR5 RAM, so that's 5600 mega transfers a second. And now storage, because you got two 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, but they're not in RAID 0 or nothing, so they're not together. They're shown in Windows as 2 different ones. Hot-swappable SSD at the front to, well, put all your games or your data or something like that and you just take it around. The real star, as I said, is on this side, is the 4080 NVIDIA RTX graphics card with 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 and deliver some cracking performance. All settings at high, 4K with the latest ray tracing, DLSS and 3rd generation. It's just such a powerful beast, but just remember that with great power come great heat. So Acer have thrown a 240 liquid cooler to keep the i9 in check, but proper ventilation is still key, and I will get to that in just 1 second. And before we get to all the performance and benchmarks, I want to talk about the ports. We got ports at the front, ports at the back, and the port selection is decent. We got a bunch of USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type C ports, a couple of USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A. We got microphone and headphone jack. We got a RJ45 that's actually 2.5 gigahertz. We also got display coming from the graphics card itself. So this is RTX 4080. You got one HDMI 3 display ports, and you also got the latest Bluetooth 5.0 and Wi-Fi 6E as well. So connectivity in this thing is not a problem. Now let me take you back to this little one, Hot-swappable SSD. And I have opened it, and you will need to open it as well because inside is empty. All you got is a Dota board that goes from USB Type-C to a NVMe slot over here. And this is convenience to, well, share some files. If you got several computers like myself, I can put games here and just move it around if I need to, or maybe some recordings or something similar. But it's actually quite good that include this in the box. I wish you actually have a drive inside. There's no drive, but it's as simple as just push it in, and it does connect with the whole vibe or the whole 3-side, and just giving you that little more of customizability over here. And all right, let me talk about, well, performance and how this little beast actually goes through, because gaming is no problem. I have played Formula 1, I have played Dirt, I have played Mud Runner, Cyberpunk, and I have played Spider-Man as well. I have played many games on this little thing in my big wide monitor over here, and also in a 16:9 standard 4K monitor. And it performs like you are expecting, flawless. High settings for everything, and DLSS on, frame generation on, and frame rates will never drop. Everything is incredible for gaming. Now, if you put this to some synthetic benchmarks like Combustor, Blender, Cinebench, Geekbench. And let me tell you, because I run Cinebench R23 for the CPU, a multi-core, and Combustor MSI for the GPU over a period of 30 minutes. And I have found some surprise. So the CPU clocks, it started at 5.6 and very quickly we throttled down to 4.2 gigahertz under that thermal pressure. And the consumption as well went from 333 watts down to 160 watts. And during this half an hour stress, it did peak out to 100 degrees fairly quickly. But after thermal throttling in a way, yes, everything dropped down to around 70. And the fan, it did start increasing, but we'll talk about the fan in a second, because the RTX 4080 did thermal throttle as well. Went from 2,820 megahertz to 2,655 megahertz under load. And the temperatures actually were pretty good. They are 71 degrees under 100% load, with just the hot spot was 83.5 degrees. So the GPU consumption was alright, went from 303 watts to 306 watts. So it's something expected once you put so much heat and so much into this little chassis over here. But the fans still were in auto. And that's where that surprise came, because the CPU hit 100 degrees. Yes, it went down to about 80 and then down back again to 71. But the CPU is the maximum that the two fans that we got at the top ramp it up was to 4,017 RPMs. This is an auto, okay? And it's still quite loud, but 240 IO at the top was struggling, was maintaining that temperature 70 degrees, but was honestly struggling, and you can tell. The noise levels was significant, and it didn't prioritize silence at the moment. It was trying to keep the temperatures down. Just keep in mind that the fans only hit the maximum speed of 5,113 RPM if you actually go to the Predator Sense app and press maxed out. So one issue when I saw this case was the ventilation. And straight out of the box, I saw that, because at the front, it's no mesh. It looks like a meshing, but it's not. It's just plastic pretending to be a kind of mesh, but nope. Don't be confused. All the meshings are on both sides, a little bit at the back, and of course the exhaust at the top. And it's telling you with this logo over here that this section is gonna get hot. And it does get hot because this is the only exhaust section that we got in this case. So this is doing negative pressure. Two fans taking air out, two sides breathing all the surrounding air in and taking all that air through the components, through the top radiator. So no intakes at the front, no real intakes at the bottom. Yeah, it's all perforated, but the legs are actually minimum, so it's not a lot of airflow going down there. And at the back, again, it's just trying to breathe air all around, and this is the only place that the air is exiting from the case. So this is what is keeping this whole thing and the benchmarks kind of hot. I need to thermal throttle down in a way. I wish it had more mesh, even the front. I wish the front was mesh. Just easy cutting in the middle, making it a little bit more holes all around. Actually have a fan maybe to have a little bit of active airflow. So that would be great to improve the cooling efficiency. Now, if you're looking for a full-on pre-build, you order it today, arrives tomorrow, you press the on button, and it fully works. You can start gaming on it, you can start being creative, and you want all performance compact into something little. Maybe you're a student, maybe you're gonna move flat soon, maybe you don't know where you're gonna have this, you don't got a lot of space in your flat. This is ideal. The combination of the CPU, the next gen graphics card, and all the storage that we got, hot-swappable storage, is brilliant. However, this kind of power comes at a cost. The price tag is hefty, and the heat and noise generation can be noticeable. So it depends how you feel about that. You're gonna get the maximum performance that this thing is gonna give you, just it's gonna maybe be a little bit hot. So if you are a hardcore gamer who need the absolutely best frame rates and performance on a creativity professional who's working with demanding applications like I said, DaVinci Resolve, Blender, After Effects, this can be a compelling option. However, if you are in a little of a tight budget, or you want something a little bit more near silence operation, you might want to maybe build your own computer over here, find your own components and build it yourself. But all right, that's a wrap for this video. A very deep dive, and I have loads of opinions into the Predator Orion X. So if you found this video helpful, just make sure you give us a like and subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Just drop your questions down below. Don't forget to follow me everywhere at Untitled Tech. I will see you on the next one. Adios.